If you haven't noticed yet, people are generating millions of dollars from using AI video models to generate content. So I figured, why not create an AI SaaS that anyone can use and create an UGC ad in a minute? So what we're looking at today is Video Ad AI, an AI SaaS tool that I've built in 4 hours using just Bubble and N8N. All you have to do is come to this landing page, fill out the form with the product inputs, like product image, product name, target audience, product features and video settings. Once you filled it out, you can just click generate video, and about a minute later, you get your own complete video ad. You get AI generated visuals, professional voiceover, music and text overlays. Everything ready to post in TikTok, Instagram or Facebook ads. We can already see the example outputs that I had using this tool. We have this before picture of our product, and after the prompting and the generation, what it actually created. So the question we're answering today is, how do we turn it into a product that people can actually use? Not just an N8N workflow template, but a full working SaaS app. So looking at the system, we can see that we have two main parts. The first part is the Bubble frontend, where we have our landing page with the design, the form with the inputs. We have also a loading section and an output section for the user to actually see the output of the video and to be able to download it. And also some examples on how this product works before the user commits to using it. And the second part is the N8N automation. So first of all, we have here our webhook that we need to get the inputs the user has inputted inside the form on our Bubble page. And then we take all those inputs and create and generate the video ad using Nano Banana and Veo 3.1. We also update the database in Bubble so we can actually show the output and the result to our user. So we're going to jump into a live demo where I'm going to show you exactly how it works from the user perspective, how the Bubble setup works, how the N8N workflow works, how to combine them, and how you can build it yourself. And as always, I'm giving the entire Bubble plus N8N blueprint for free. All you have to do is join my free school community, and the link is down in the description. But before we run the live example, let me show you a few outputs the system has already created. In our Bubble database, we can see we have a few records of the product video data type. This is the object that we create once we submit the form, send it to the N8N template, and get it back with the result. So here you can see I gave it a product image of some kind of face serum. It has its unique product features, the target audience that we want the UGC ad to talk to, the product name that it can mention, and the video setting that we want the video to take in. Now, once we send all of this into the N8N workflow, the automation creates the video, and once it's done, we update the Bubble with the output video. Now let me show you how the output looks like.
I love that the 15% vitamin C plus hyaluronic acid actually brightens my skin and absorbs so fast, perfect for busy mornings.
You can see it looks very great. Her tone feels very natural. It really doesn't feel like an AI created it. It obviously copied the imaginary product. It's not even a real product. It's also an AI generated image, and it just copied it perfectly. She even uses it without me asking. You have this cute little oil mark on her face, and it just feels so real. So I really like the outputs it gives us. Now I'll show you another example. Here we have this kind of spray. I think it's for the hair, for the face. All right, and then we fill out all the product features, target audience, everything is just as usual, and we get this kind of output.
This spray is literally a glow up in a bottle spray. It smells amazing, feels so light, and instantly refreshes my skin.
As you can see, she also stopped in the middle. It's because we're just demoing right now and we don't want to waste credits for demo videos. But as you can see, the product, the woman, looks very good, and she even uses the spray and it gets this spray animation that honestly I'm surprised the AI could pull this off. And as you can see, those outputs are consistent, they are not cherry-picked. This is how the system works. But now let's build one live so you can see exactly how the whole workflow works. Alright, so here is how the user experience feels like. You land on this landing page, you can turn your product from photos into UGC ads in 60 seconds. You can see an example of one of the UGC ads. You can try this free demo, and then you can fill out this form. So let me quickly fill out this form with another dummy product data. All right, so I filled some product information here that we can use. Everything generated by ChatGPT, even the image. I just want them to give me example product. Now, once we click the generate video, it will trigger the video ad generation. So now what we need to do is just click on generate video, and it will start the video ad generation. Okay, we will have this animation up until it's ready. It usually takes between 1 to 2 minutes for it to be ready. While this runs, let me show you how I build it. So in the bubble editor, in our single page landing page, we can see that we mostly have here design choices and design stuff that are quite differently, but everything is pretty simple. Some input forms, inputs, multi-line inputs, upload an image. Just the design is important to nail when you want to do a landing page. I also used, to show the videos, an HTML element instead of using some type of plugin to show the videos. It gives me more flexibility in terms of width, height, and also controls in the video. We have here the spinner. It's also an HTML element. It's a loader that I found online. Just copy paste, not something too complex. So this landing page doesn't have too many complicated stuff. We just need to make sure we pass the data correctly to the N8N workflow, and that we update the database and the result and the output that we get from the N8N workflow. But most of this page is basically a good design. And you might be wondering, man on the internet, how do I design so well in Bubble? So let me show you. First of all, how I like to design in Bubble, I use this HTML styles element, and I put here every type of CSS class that I want to use in our page. And for example, you can see that here, this UGC ads is white text, but in our app, we can see it's this gradient purple to pink, right? So how I do it, I basically assign it an ID attribute, gradient text, and I define the properties of this gradient text right here. And then it knows to paint this text and use, instead of the default white bubble properties, we use those properties because the gradient text ID matches. And if you want to apply it for a few multiple text on the page, you can do so with the ID. You can just assign the same ID, gradient text, to a different text. Now we have also this button that uses some special CSS properties, Spark button. It basically gives it this little bit of glowing effect, and when I hover on the button, it grows a little bit and makes it a little bit more glowing. So this is a CSS. You can find everything in this HTML styles. Nothing is outside of here. Hey, it's Sean from the future. I just realized that I forgot to show you how I did come up with this type of landing page mockup. I'm using this Magicpath tool to create. It's basically an AI that you can chat with, and it will create you your own mockup that you can then use. So I created here two mockup components. I used the layout of the hero section from here, and I also like this grid pattern background that it has here. I'll show you how I implemented it in Bubble, but basically I took these components full layout. So here we can see the video that we generated as a demo. We have here the form that I just copied from here, and the see it in action. I didn't copy the footer, but you can see that we also generate everything here in Magicpath, so I don't need to think about design too much. I just need to know how to achieve the same design as they do here. And I will go to the Bubble editor just to show you how I did achieve this grid background look like. So I went and just generated in some tool, I don't even remember, a grid SVG for background. Now this grid SVG, first of all, I colored the background color of the whole page to be this dark blue color. And in order to achieve this grid effect, I took a container group. This is a container group. It basically covers the whole page. And I set the background style to be an image. And the image is that generated grid. It's just a small grid, like you see it's 2.5 cubes long and width. And now I put it here as the dynamic image, static image, and I set the settings here to repeat the image vertically and horizontally. So it just repeats itself across the whole page. And then we get this nice grid type of background. But the issue was that the grid was too strong for me. I wanted it to be less shouty. So what I did is to add just on this container, I added another group that stretches through the whole page and has the background style of the same blue deep color, but with a 50 opacity. So we don't cover the whole grid animation that we have, and we just put a semi-transparent blue deep to cover the grid that we don't want to be so strong. So if I remove that, I just want to show you what I mean. So here I feel like it's too strong, too visually present. I want it to be more of a background thing. So that's why I added a line to parent container with a background empty group that I even called it background 50% screen. And then I make the background 50%. That way it just makes it a little bit darker and it doesn't go on top of our elements because we use the align to parent and our content is actually in front of the background 50% screen. Now let's go back to the video. Here for the video display, I use, instead of a plugin that Bubble offers, I like to use an HTML element with just a video element because this gives me the flexibility to make the video size dynamic. So in terms of width and height, it can stretch or shrink as much as I want, something that I couldn't really achieve with the Bubble plugins and video plugins that there are here. Then we also have our form input to take the inputs and give it to the workflow. Nothing too special here. And picture uploader that you have here. This is some technique that I like when you use align to parent, and then you can also have this type of group with the icon, the text and the button. But on top of that, we have the actual picture uploader, and this is what we click to open the file browser. And then once we have an image, I have this image that only visible when the picture uploader product image is not empty. Then we can see the image is covering this text. And I think it also is not visible when the picture uploader product image value is not empty. Now the inputs are very simple, inputs and multi-line inputs. And when we create this button, this is what actually triggers the workflow. So we have the generate video button. We create a product video. We have only one data type in our database, like we've seen. With a product feature, product image, product name, target audience, video settings, those are all our inputs. And the output that we get from the N8N workflow. Now here, once we click the generate video, you can see that we're creating the product video object. We take all the inputs and then we just transfer all the inputs into the N8N workflow. Okay, this is a call that I've set up using the API connector plugin. And this is how we connect our Bubble app to the N8N workflow. So the first connection with N8N that we need to do is to pass all the inputs and start the workflow. We do it by using this webhook node. We'll get into what happens here later, but once we trigger that webhook and we call the same endpoint that the webhook outputs, we can pass all the details that we took from the user, product name and all the details, plus the video ID. Okay, so we send N8N the video ID that we've just created in this workflow, like that. We use result of step 1 unique ID. We pass the ID, so later, once the automation is done and the video is created, N8N can update this video object with the output video. And lastly, we display the created video inside the data holder. It's just a group's name. I do it so once we display the created video, we will see this group, right? So if this group product video is not empty, so only once we actually successfully created a video product object by clicking this generate video, we will start seeing the loading screen. And we'll see the loading screen as long as the output video is not empty, as long as the output video is empty. And it will turn to be this, your video is ready, right? You can see it because I'm using a different CSS to make it more visible. So in preview, it doesn't look like that. But basically this group of the output video, when you can download and your video is ready and you can preview it, is visible only when the output video is not empty. So once it's over, this will disappear and this will appear so the user can actually see the output. And lastly, we have this see it in action section. Here we can see all the examples of the products from before and after. I'm using a repeat.
This little mist sprayer makes my skin feel instantly hydrated like.
And this section is just a marketing strategy to show people what this tool can do. So we show a before image of just the product and after creating the UGC video ad. I'm using a repeating group to show all of those. I'm just inserting the product videos that the output video is not empty. And I want only 3 items to show people some example of how it looks like to use this tool. Again, the same HTML element that I'm using here for showing the video is the same one that I'm using here and the same one that I'm using here. I just need to make sure the source is the right source. So we always show the output, the right output video that we want to show in each HTML element. So this is mostly what you need to know about the bubble setup. You have the different styles, the CSS, some HTML elements to show the videos, and that's it. Nothing too special. An input form that triggers the N8N workflow using the API call and the webhook. I will show you how the continuation of this workflow starts, but here you just need to understand that we send an API call to N8N that will receive all the inputs from the form and start generating our video. Now the other workflows that we have here is just some scrolling and the download button that allows us to download the video. So if we go back to the landing page, we can see the video is already generated, so our video is ready. Once we click the download video that we've just seen, it will download our video.
This little mist sprayer makes my skin feel instantly hydrated by it. I take it everywhere.
Well, it worked very well. She's also gorgeous. As you can see, we've created here the video. It took all the product details that we gave it, the image with the product name, the target audience. She looks very real. She talks very real. The tone, everything feels natural. You have this overlay text that you can either remove it if you just remove this one, right? And you can also play with it. You will see that inside the N8N workflow, you will be able to customize it even more. So if you don't like this output, you can play around and make sure that you like the output that it gives you. So I think we've done with the bubble part. Let's go to the N8N part. So this is now the workflow that we executed and created our new video. So let's start with the webhook. This is where we get the inputs from Bubble. In the webhook, we have a few configurations. We want to use the HTTP method post because we want to get some payload. Payload is the inputs that we're gonna get, like the image, product name, and all the other texts. We give it some path, so we can call it in Bubble. If you remember, this is what we call in the API connector once we pass all the extra details. And that's it. Respond immediately. It just Bubble gets a response that success, it's all fine. And then we can see that the output of this webhook node gives us all the body that we've sent it. So we can see the product name, product features, video setting, product image that we have from Bubble, and the target audience and the video ID. As I said, the video ID is important to later update the output and make everything automatically. Now, after we get the inputs from the webhook, we have our main workflow. So the first node is an AI agent that generates, first of all, both of our AI agents use a GPT-5 Mini. So this first agent is using our inputs in order to create a prompt to Nano Banana so we can create an image to use later to input into the video. Because what I found while doing all this UGC stuff, I found that creating an image first of the person with the product and then sending it to Veo will result in much higher quality videos. So we just pass here the video setting and the product name, nothing more. And we have this system message. So we can see how it looks like. So we pass here Sud Mist, portable facial streamer, a woman holds the, and all the settings that we provided, right? And now we also provide some system prompt. I won't read it all, but this is a good prompt to start with. It's a template prompt that you will probably need to change and customize for it to really feel real for your use case. And I don't need to read it all, but you have here the system prompt. You are an expert in hyper-realistic user-generated content photography, and your role is to generate detailed image prompts, not the image themselves. So we assign him the task to actually create a prompt. We give some prompt guidelines. The product photo must not be changed. Later, when you go take this template, you can see exactly and customize it to your heart's content. Now, human realism, product accuracy, composition and perspective, lighting and environment, authentic details. We're just giving some kind of guidelines for it to create the video that we actually want, for the image prompt that we actually want. The next node is an HTTP call to an API called Key. This tool called Key gives you access to many different image, text, audio, video APIs that are there, and they make it all in one place, and also they make it a little bit cheaper from just using it straight from the APIs that they offer. So I really like to use them. Now you just connect the API call here. It's a post that we've created task. We need to have our Key API with some credits inside the Key tool. And what we send here is basically the model that we want to use, Nano Banana Edit. So we give it an image of our product, and then we also give it some instructions to create our influencer with the product image. So we say here, we give the input of the prompt. Now the prompt is the JSON output that we've gotten from the AI agent. The AI agent created our prompt, and we use this .replace functionality to actually replace all these break lines, because those break lines will break our call to the Key API if we don't take care of it. So this expression is basically added to make it compatible in sending it in the API call. Now, the other thing that I pass here is the webhook product image. So in the image URLs, I also pass the original image that we use. I want the output format to be in PNG, and the image size, it should be vertical, so we can upload it as usual, as the usual format that we use in TikTok, Instagram, etc. So once we call the nano image generation, we get this message success, and we create this instance of task ID. So we have a task ID that we can follow because it takes time to generate the image. It's usually pretty fast. As you can see here, it took around 20 seconds, if not less. Here I have a wait node for 10 seconds that it waits before it executes another API call to Key, that this time we just want to get the record info of our task ID that we pass from the previous node, right? So now we can check if the task ID is successful. And now you can see that here, item 1, this is item 2. So the state was success, and then it continued with the workflow. But in item 1, the state was still waiting. So it took the false part, because here in the if statement we have if the state is equal to success, then continue true and then analyze the image. But if it's false, like we've seen with the first iteration, it was waiting, it will go all the way back to the wait node, will wait more 10 seconds before it calls it again until it's successful. Once it's successful, we can continue to analyze the image. Now this step is optional, but I found that the outputs are much more accurate when you analyze the image and then give it to another AI agent to generate the prompt to the video. So if we skip this analyze image node, it will just continue to this AI agent that creates our video prompt. But with this analyze image node, we can analyze the image Nano Banana just created and send the analysis of the image to this new AI agent to create a more accurate prompt. So what we send this AI agent is basically the product. We set the product name, the product ICP, and all the inputs that we took from the user, we use it right now because we're generating the prompt for the video. Reference image description is basically analysis of the image that the Nano Banana just created. So it looks like this. We pass all the inputs here, and then we have some type of system prompt template that you can customize yourself. And there are some requirements and general guidelines on how we want the video to be generated and our use case. As always, you will get the template, you can customize and see it yourself. I won't read it out loud here. And now, once we get the prompt of the video, we continue with a similar fashion. We just make another call to the key API. Now, instead of using Nano Banana, we use another API endpoint that we can use Veo generate. So we access the Veo 3.1 tool with our key API, and we send here in the body the JSON with the output of the JSON, right? So we have the Veo video prompt AI agent that created our prompt for the video. Again, we replace here all the stuff that we don't need. Sometimes the output generates quotation marks and like that. And this also breaks our API calls. So that's why I added this .replace functionality. So it removes curly double quotes and it's clean and can be actually provided to the API so it can understand and not get an error. And the image URLs, we send the nano image that we've just created. So we have here get nano image, right? This is where we get the first item. So we get this HTTP PNG. We can also see it here. Great. And now we also use Veo 3 Fast. I know it says Veo 3, but it's Veo 3.1, 3.1. You can check in the documentation. The aspect ratio is also vertical and enable translation is true. Once we wait those 30 seconds, we make a check call to the Veo record info endpoint, same key API. Then we pass the task ID just to check what's the matter with the task. And here, let's see, in first item, the response was null. Okay, so I think our if is based on the response. Yeah, so if the response does not exist, like we've seen here, item number 1, the response doesn't exist. Null doesn't exist. Item 2 also doesn't exist. So it took the failed flow and go back second and third time to the wait node, resulting in 1.5 minutes to do that. And in the third time, it got some kind of response. The response wasn't empty. It wasn't null, right? So it took the true path. Excuse me, I got mistaken. When the response does not exist, this is the true path. So once it's true, the response doesn't exist, we go back to the wait. We can see it here in orange. Once it isn't empty, once we do get a response, it's the false path and it goes back to bubble, update an object. So you can see here, we've created everything. And now in this node, after the third run, we get this URL, results URL. This is what we need in order to show the user the video. And now we pass it into the update an object. Update an object, it's a node that is compatible with Bubble. What you need to do, important in Bubble, let me show you. You need to go to the settings. If you didn't enable it ever, you need to go to the API, and here you have enable data API, okay? And this is how you get your URL, and you need to allow changes to your specific data that you want. For me, it's product video. And once I did that, it allows me to actually connect to my Bubble account. You need to connect to your Bubble account. You need to check the object resource that you want to update. Okay, you have a few operations. Once it's successful, it will send you a success, true. Now here, an important point in the type name. In Bubble, you can call it product video with the space, right? But once we use it programmatically, when we want to talk with Bubble, they don't like the space. They need this lower line connecting instead of the space. So once we give it the right data type, we give it the object ID that we got from the webhook from the start, right? We passed a video ID. So we get it from webhook JSON body video ID. So this is the video ID that we created, and then we wait for the output. And once it's updated, the user will be able to see it immediately. Now the output video, we get it from the results URL from the previous node. And this is the URL that we're gonna use in order to also show it to the user and allow him to download it. Once we're successful with that, and we actually find the record in the database, and we updated the right key, so output video, it's the same as here. When it's a field, they don't really require you to make this without a space. So that's nice. And once we update the Bubble database, we get to the same point. First of all, we can see it updated with our video, right? This is our new product with the nano mist, a woman holds, and we got this output video that we've seen straight away right here because we have updated this group with the video object. And once it finished, you remember we had this spinner loading animation. And once it's finished and we got the output video from the N8N Automation, we immediately show the video here for the user to either preview or download. So this is basically how you build this feature. You saw the Bubble editor and also the N8N automation that we connected together in order to create this functionality. Now, let's talk about costs a little bit. We have the Nano Banana image generation. We have the ChatGPT AI agents that we use for prompting. And we also have the Veo 3 generation. Because we're using Veo 3 fast, it's a little bit cheaper and faster. And for a nano image generation, it costs 2 cents. For the video in Veo 3, it costs 30 cents, making it a total of 32 cents per video. Now, if you make this product good, you get some users in, you can easily sell this type of subscription in 20, 30, even more dollars, depends on the features you add on top of that. And the margins are screaming that the business is good. All right, so if you want to build something like that yourself, here's what I'm giving you for free. I'll give you the Bubble editor access to see exactly how I connected it with the N8N, how I did the designs here, and how I make the front-end functionality possible. And I'll also gonna give you the N8N template, the JSON file that you can just copy and paste it. And of course, I'm gonna add some instructions for you to actually connect it more easily. I will tell you exactly what API keys you need to generate, where you need to make the changes. So you just quickly activate this type of functionality, and then you can go crazy and build your dream app however you like it. Now, the build itself took me around 4 hours, not something too crazy, but making this content, this video, and the templates for you to actually reuse and reactivate this functionality with your own code is taking me much more. So if you like this type of content or find something valuable in it, please tell me by leaving a like, subscribe, join the free community. I'm here to do more tutorials on Bubble and N8N and how to create beautiful AI SaaS apps using those tools. And it will really make my day if you just say that you like it or just give me a thumbs up to continue doing this type of content. And hopefully, now you understand the power of AI plus no code. So I'll see you in the next build or inside our community, No Code Society. Now, thanks for watching. Bye bye.